Hi everyone, I'm Christina and this is my book review of Emma by Jane Austen. This summer I ended up picking up Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen and really enjoying it. I had watched the Lizzie Bennet Diaries here on YouTube, and if you don't know what the Lizzie Bennet Diaries are, it is a web series produced by Hank Green and Bernie Sue. Hank Green being John Green's brother, and they have blog brothers, and John Green wrote The Fault in Our Stars. And they're very, very, very prominent and successful here on YouTube. So they are basically web series that modernize a classic novel. And they started off with taking Pride and Prejudice and turning it into the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. So Elizabeth Bennet is Lizzie Bennet, and she decides she's going to vlog what she's doing as part of her final project for her last year in university. And then they did Emma Approved, which was Emma by Jane Austen. Loved it so much. I found Emma a really cool character. I loved Alex Knightley, who's George Knightley in the book. And I loved the way the story was and the plot of it and the drama of it. It was just so, so good. I actually enjoyed Emma more than I enjoyed Pride and Prejudice, which is not a common thing. Pride and Prejudice tends to be the most liked Jane Austen novel. Similar to Pride and Prejudice, I found the writing style a bit tiring. And, you know, it's the same author, so I'm going to probably have that issue every time I pick up a Jane Austen novel, which I hope to do again in the future. And I don't know if it's the classicness of it, the time period, or just the way Jane Austen writes, but I find it slightly boring. I find the plot so enticing, and it makes me want to keep going because I love the drama of it. I want to compare this to Emma Approved. The first lines of the actual book are Emma Woodhouse, handsome, clever, and rich. Snob probably should be added to the list at the start of the book. I've come to especially love Emma quite fast, but a lot of people do call her a snob most of the way through and kind of come at the end to realize that she is good. First lines of the web series, whereas in Lizzie Bennet Diaries, they are the same. The man in need of a wife, those lines. It's the exact same line. The first lines of Emma Approved are Emma Woodhouse, beautiful, clever, and brilliant. A little background on Emma Approved. Emma runs the matchmaking and lifestyle department of the Highbury Partners Group. So the Highbury is the village that the Woodhouses are in charge of in Emma, the actual novel, and I extremely love how things like that are tied in. The company itself is Pemberley Digital, and if you didn't know, Pemberley is the estate from Pride and Prejudice. You meet Emma in both, and she comes across very snobby at first, and it's not a snob because she's an only sibling or anything like that. She has an older sister, Isabel, or Izzy, in the Emma Approved web series, but she seems like she thinks she's very qualified in what she does. In the book, it would be being a Jane Austen lady. And in the web series, it is running the matchmaking department. She has a 20 for 20 record in the web series, and she wants to keep it that way. And when you look at the rest of the book, you've got so many characters making their way into Emma Approved in beautiful ways. Of course, I've already mentioned Alex, who is George Knightley in the book. And Alex is Emma's partner who does the boring stuff, as Emma would call it. And he is so enjoyable as a character. He's a great, great, great character in both. He sees the best in Emma, which I appreciate, and kind of where I come from as well with Emma. And he brings out the best in Emma. Then the main thing with the book is when Emma befriends Harriet Smith and decides, I'm going to help you get your life, I'm going to help you get a man, all that fun stuff. And in the web series, Harriet becomes Emma's assistant, and Emma decides to take her on as a client to make her life better, as she does. So Emma starts to meddle in Harriet's love life, first of all making sure she doesn't end up with Mr. Martin, or just Martin, in the web series, because in this world, he's lower class than she is, and she thinks she should marry higher. And in Emma Approved, because Emma thinks he doesn't have life goals, and that Harriet should be with someone with life goals and all that kind of fun stuff. So I'm going to jump into spoilers for the very end of the novel and the very end of the web series, so if you're not interested in hearing what happens very close to the end, I'd leave now. Both within Emma and Emma Approved, the build-up is all towards how Emma feels about her own love life, because she states throughout the novel that she's independent and she doesn't need a man, and this is a very common theme in the web series as well. At the end, she comes to terms with the fact that she's actually in love with Alex/George Knightley, who has been her friend for so long and business partner in Emma Approved, and well, she can't help but have these strong feelings for him. And then Harriet mentions how she likes Alex, and that comes with Emma thinking Alex must like Harriet and not me that way, which saddens Emma deeply because she actually really, really does care for Alex. And he comes to speak to her in the book and in the web series, and Emma tries to get around the topic. She doesn't want to talk about Harriet. She's so set in her ways that she knows this conversation will be about Harriet. But then he professes his undying love for her. In this one, she ends up agreeing to marry him, and the father totally approves. And Emma Approved. They decide to have a relationship in both their business lives and their personal lives. Emma decides that she needs to relinquish her hold on Harriet's life, and Harriet ends up being with Martin in both. And she's happy, and everyone ends up being happy, and that's the beauty of Jane Austen. In the end, everyone is happy. I find the endings of both of these really emotional because you spend a lot of time with Emma, who's denying her feelings, and you can definitely see her feelings, and it's great that way. And it really shows how much Emma, so much character development that Emma goes through. I feel like Emma does a complete 180 on her look at life, and it's great. And so by the end, everyone has changed their opinion on Emma and sees Emma as the girl that Alex/George was seeing the whole time. Those are my feelings on Emma by Jane Austen. I hope you enjoyed this review. I haven't done a formal review yet. I want to do more of these because I could just talk about books for a long time. Check out my last video. It will be linked at the top of the description. I haven't been able to thank people in my video yet, but my #1 viewed video surpassed 50 a couple of weeks ago, and I think it's past 60 now, and I'm just so grateful for that number. So incredibly thankful for every single person who has viewed one of my videos, and to my friends especially who are being so supportive in my video making. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.